I'm so annoyed. So I just finished recording a 36-minute long video, and that entire time I could not get my Switch to connect to my internet properly. Like, a couple of days ago I accidentally unplugged the whatever you call it, I don't know, the modem, I guess that's what it's called. I accidentally unplugged it and it freaked out on me. And I forgot that the same thing would have happened to my Switch too. Anyway, yeah, I spent so long trying to record it or not record it, but connect it. While I was doing that, I showed off my bedroom because I have my bed in my room now, and I have a couch now, and so I gave y'all a 360 view of this bedroom. Y'all got to look at my cat for a little bit while I messed with the... Anyway, it was all for nothing because... Oh, and I also played Zelda. I played Zelda instead because I couldn't get this stupid thing. I'm so annoyed. So I spent all of that time trying to, do something. I already talked about all of my topics, and I played Zelda for the first time in months, and I still beat off one of those alien guys. I can't remember what they're called. And I didn't die once. I found a shrine. It was a great time. So, at the end of it, at the end of that video, I made a promise that if I couldn't get Tetris to work, that I would just post that video despite it being an absolute train wreck. And if I could get Tetris to load, then I would just start over. And lo and fucking behold, the goddamn thing loaded. So that video is just, it's a diary entry at this point. The world will never see it. I guess if anyone so wishes to see me play Zelda and take for fucking ever to find a shrine, let me know and I'll post it. It only takes one. It's literally it. If one person said that, I would do it. But if not, I will start from here. I don't even know if I want to talk about the topics I had now. I already did all of that. I feel like I've formed such a innate bond with whoever potentially would have watched that last video. And my cat was around. She talked a bit. Maybe she'll come out again. We'll see, we'll see. So I guess I'll start over with talking about the things I was going to talk about. Namely, the Facebook win. The Facebook Marketplace win was indeed a couch. I picked it up on Sunday, and it looks pretty good. It was basically what I was kind of envisioning and hoping for, sort of. And it wasn't very expensive, and it's also a futon, so if I have friends over, they could sleep on that if they so please. God, I'm so annoyed at my Switch right now. I'm so mad. It's whatever, I gotta go with the flow. Because what else are you gonna do? Go against the flow? That's just, that doesn't sound like fun. Anyway, yeah. It had rips and shreds in it, the couch, and it was pictured in Facebook Market, so I knew what I was getting into. But I'm glad I decided to get a couch like that because I knew that my cat was going to go ham on the couch in terms of scratching and all that good stuff. So lo and behold, as soon as that couch got into my apartment, she was all over it, scratching it, and I was like, it's okay, because I planned for this. I genuinely don't mind her scratching furniture like that, because at the end of the day, like, I decided to keep her, and that's how cats work. Like, you can't have an animal and then expect them to not do the things that they do. And I don't mean like letting them like pee in your home or anything like that. I just mean like, you know, the basic things that they do, like stretching their back in the way of clawing at things. Like, that's just something a cat has to do. It's like cleaning themselves, or I don't know, any of those other things. So I don't get mad at her per se for that. But because she has the option of scratching that couch or her scratching post, you know, it gives me a way to tell her, like, okay, so you can't scratch the bed. You can't scratch me anymore. The problem was, like, she was starting to, like, scratch my clothes. All of my jeans were being ripped to shreds, and that's something that never happened before. And I quickly figured out it's because, like, yeah, she doesn't have anything else to scratch. At my old apartment, she had her own scratching post. That scratching post did not come along in the move, and I put getting a scratching post for her kind of on the back burner. And I finally got one, but it's still not, you know, the most perfect thing in the world. Now the couch is helping. So she has stopped scratching me, which is fantastic. I don't know. They are your companions. I don't know. You gotta work with them. It's also why she has her own cup. When she was a kitten, she kept getting into my drinking cups, and it drove me insane because she would spill them, or she would like end up with her whole face in there, and it would scare me because I'd think she was gonna get stuck or something. And I'd be like, why are you doing this? Like, you have water in your bowl over here. And then I figured out that she likes the cup, or that she likes copying me, or I don't know, something. So one day I just gave her her own cup, and since then she has not gone to any single one of my drinks. So yeah, it's all about compromise. It's all about listening, understanding, all that good shit. Happy pet, happy life. The whole reason why I even got on here today is because I just wanted to talk about Oscar Isaac. This was a name that I had not heard before 10 days ago. My friend and I went to see a movie, and he basically gave me the option of seeing two movies. And one of them was like an older movie. I don't remember the name of it. Not like older, but like this theater does a lot of like plays movies that aren't just new. And it's like a classic, and I've never seen it, but it was showing at like midnight or something, and the other option was the card counter. I think that's what it's called, the card counter, and that one was showing a bit earlier, and the trailer looked really good, and I hadn't seen like a really good movie in a hot minute because of COVID. Like the last movie I saw in theaters while the world was still like quote unquote normal was The Invisible Man, which was fine and dandy, but you know. And then I saw Suicide Squad semi-recently, and like it was good, but I don't know, there's just this thing with superhero movies that I don't feel like entranced or excited or moved in any way, because it's just like, I don't know, they're just like, they're hard to enjoy now because you know that there's going to be something heartbreaking, and there's going to be something funny, and there's going to be something silly, and I don't know, it's really hard to get into. The last superhero movie that I genuinely enjoyed was Black Panther. And before that, it was probably Doctor Strange. And before that, it was Guardians of the Galaxy. But I digress. So we saw this movie, and it's a new movie still, so I'm not going to give anything away. But I will say that, like, I liked it. It was not perfect, but I liked it. And I thought a lot of, like, stylistic things about the movie were pretty cool. Just with the way, like, certain things were shot. I loved the story. Anyway, also his Oscar Isaac's performance was just, like, fucking astounding. And his was a name that I'd never heard before, and I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else. A couple days later, I'm watching Hot Ones, and it's Brie Larson, and she's a big fan of older films and things like that. And one of the questions that is asked of her is, like, you know, what are some of the movies that you think should be classics that maybe aren't? Or I don't really remember what the question was, if I'm being quite honest with you. But one of the answers that she gave was scenes from A Marriage. And she said, it's technically a series, not really a movie. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. And I just kind of, like, you know, that was the only thought that I gave to it. I think, like, one day later, I'm getting real depressed watching John Oliver's show, and I get off of it, and HBO is like, here's this new show, Scenes from a Marriage. And I was really confused because I thought that the show that Brie Larson talked about was older. So, but I was like, okay, maybe I misunderstood, and she was talking about something new that she'd been watching. So I watched the first 2 episodes because that's all that was out at the time. And it's fucking Oscar Isaac again, and he's also a producer of it. He's the leading man in the series, and he's the producer. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, I've literally never heard of this man ever. But holy fuck, he's astounding. And just the fact that he's producing the show is just, like, it's so beautiful. I don't know how close it is to, like, the style or to the story of the 1970s series, but oh my god, it's so good, and it makes me really, really, really want to watch that original series. I don't know where I'll find it. I'll probably just have to buy it on fucking Amazon eventually, but yeah, Oscar Isaac. Fucking amazing. And also, fuck, I don't remember her name. The other leading character, or the other leading actor, she is also fucking phenomenal. I think she was in Interstellar. She played the daughter. I think I've seen her in a couple of other things, but I couldn't really name them. I'm very bad with that. I'm very bad at naming actors' names and remembering things like that. I've done that. Fuck. Oh my god, I just fucked myself over completely. That was a lot of bad decisions all at the same time. Yeah, Oscar Isaac. I don't even know if, can you even see my sticky note? Probably not. It says Oscar Isaac, Joshua Wiseman, bread, guitar, FB Marketplace win, knots, hot sauce. I miss my friends. Hot sauce. So we were talking about hot ones, and I was watching Will Ferrell's episode, and on one of the sauces he says like, oh, that's mustardy, very mustard. And I was very intrigued because I'm a big fan of mustard. I really love it. I don't know. And I'm trying to get more into sauces. And so I looked it up and immediately came up with that website that like Sean sometimes plugs. It's like heatness.com, heatness.com, heatness.com. That was the website. And the sauce wasn't expensive, but it wasn't showing shipping. And you know how you have to like fill in some more information for something to tell you what the shipping will be. So I did all of that, and one of the few ways that they accept payment is through Apple Pay. And anyway, I accidentally ordered it. It was like double click, and I was like, okay. And then it was like, cool, your sauce is on the way. And I was like, oh, oops. So now I'm getting that sauce soon. I am very excited. But, you know, sometimes that's all it takes, because, like, if I hadn't accidentally done that, I probably never would have gotten this sauce ever. And life is short, you know? I think I'm getting, like, carpal tunnel or something. My hands have been hurting. Oh, fuck. I thought that was... Oh, well. What was I talking about? Yeah, hot sauce. So I'll let you know how that tastes when it does come in. And then on another note of food, so this other YouTuber that I follow, Josh Wiseman, is he just came out with a book, which is super duper cool, and he comes out with like a new video on Sundays, which is called But Cheaper, where he just like makes really yummy dishes for very cheap prices. Really just like honing in on the fact that like it's all about technique. You don't need the fanciest ingredients. You don't need the fanciest tools even. You just need proper technique, and you can turn something pretty simple into something pretty phenomenal. That's basically the gist of it. And in this episode, he makes a breakfast sandwich, and he uses this bread called ciabatta, which I'm pretty sure I've never heard that word before in my entire life. But he kept saying it in the episode, like ciabatta, ciabatta, ciabatta. And so, you know, I watched the video and I learned some things and I take away some inspirations and then I go about my day. And my day included going to Trader Joe's. So I go to Trader Joe's to get my groceries, and I'm facing that same dilemma that I have been in these years that I've been living by myself. And that dilemma is trying to get a loaf of bread without letting most of the bread go to waste. I have not found a solution yet. The problem is that like I am but one woman and I simply don't eat that much bread in a week. But loaves of bread come with a plethora of slices of bread, and I simply can't eat it all. Like, it can't be done. I don't eat that much bread in so few days. And so it just always ends up happening. I get a loaf of bread, and 5 days later, most of the loaf is moldy and sad and gross. And I feel really bad about it because I don't want to waste food like that. But I just don't know what to do. The smaller loaves that they sell are normally like more, I guess, like less processed and more fresh baked. So the problem is that, like, even though you're getting half the amount of bread, you also have half the amount of time to consume it because it expires so much more quickly than like the processed breads. And I'm not about to make bread. I'm not, because even then you're making a whole loaf of bread. I still have the same problem. I can't eat it. So, yeah, but I just like, I like toast. I like having toast in the morning. I like bread. I like jelly. I like butter. I love it all toasted and heated. It's fantastic. So most of the time I just end up letting myself go without bread and just, you know, wishing I had bread to make toast, and every once in a while wishing I had bread to make sandwiches. So I was like wandering up and down this bread aisle and I didn't know what to do, and then as if like God outstretched his hand and shone a light on this one very specific shelf at Trader Joe's, this package of ciabatta bread was sitting there just like staring at me. And it was like 4 small loaves of ciabatta, and it all expires in like 2 days from now, which I take that to mean like another 2 days on top of that, so like 4 days. But you know, it's 4 small loaves, and I think I can do it. I mean, like 4 small loaves, like if you're given like a little thing and you're supposed to split it in half, like for a sandwich, like that's what I mean. So today I made a sandwich, and I fried an egg, and I grilled some cherry tomatoes and some onions. I put fresh basil on top. That's something that he did in his video. He also charred like a whole tomato. I just did like grape tomatoes and sliced those, but it was really yummy. I fried the egg perfectly, if I do say so myself. Toasted the bread, the whole thing. On the pan, in fact. That makes a big difference. So anyway, yeah, maybe ciabatta is the answer. But my only problem with it is that, like, it was an everything ciabatta, so it had, like, everything bagel spices on top, which I'm honestly, I don't need it. I'm a very plain Jane kind of person. The plainer the better for me. I don't need a ton of seasonings. But, I don't know. It was good. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if this is my solution. I feel like I've been talking for forever because this is the second video that I've done. And I did a whole first video. A whole 36-minute first video. It's going to be like that SpongeBob Lost episode thing where like in 5 years people are going to find it and be like, we found the lost episode, and it's the episode where she finds the shrine. Because, you know, in 5 years I'm going to be so popular. So important to the YouTube and gaming community. You never know, though. What else did I have to talk about? I played the guitar a little bit today. So that was cool. Like, actually playing chords and kind of remembering what I was doing. So that was exciting. I've always struggled with, like, trying to get myself to learn guitar because all of the videos that I've ever found, I just would get bored and I couldn't focus. But I've been heavy listening to, and literally just only this song, but that song, Girl Crush, Harry Styles' cover of it, it's been a mood. And so I when I got home from work today, I was like, you know what, that would be kind of a fun song to maybe learn. And maybe I'll be focused on it if I'm learning, you know, a song like that I'm familiar with. And I looked it up and I found an easy video and things started sticking for me. I was very happy. So we'll see how that goes, if I can keep it consistent. Something about the way that I have my apartment set up now has just made me feel all the more productive. Like getting my bed out of the living area and putting it in here and making this little like safe space for myself. It's been nice. My mom's texting me in case y'all heard my phone go off. And what else? Oh, I met somebody else from Texas on... Gosh, was that really yesterday? Wow, I've had this couch for a day. And I'm talking about how productive it's making me. It's barely been 24 hours. I met somebody from Texas at my apartment complex. I was quite pathetically trying to move all of the pieces of my sofa into my apartment, and I got most of the pieces up. The last one was the bulkiest. It's just like very long and awkward, and I'm very short, so it's difficult. And he saw me a bit earlier and was asking like where in Texas are you from? And because he saw my plates, and I told him, and he was like, oh cool, I'm from Fort Worth. And I was like, oh whoa, nice. And he was like, yeah, it was a drive getting up here. And he said that he moved here in late June and I moved up here in late July, and so it's just like, it's kind of cool, like a small world kind of thing. And he had finished everything that he needed to do, and he was walking back, and he saw me like heavy struggling with this last piece, and he was like, do you need help? And I was like, yeah I do. So that was cool. So yeah, small world. And now I kind of feel like I have a familiar face in the building, which is nice. The last thing I need to talk about is knots. And knots, it's just referring to the knots that I have eternally in my shoulders, always, that I've had since at least middle school. I think mostly because of anxiety. I'm just that stressed all the time. They're just like, it's right here and right here always. And I rub them a lot, and I think I do it more often than I realize. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna play one more game and then call it a night. No, fuck. Jesus Christ. It's a combination of not catching a break and also just making a lot of mistakes. That was an accident. Shit. That was so bad. I'm sorry. Oh, I guess in the last video I did show off my room while things were not loading, so I guess I could do that again. I'm gonna start from this side though. So I got this thing from IKEA. Everybody has it, whatever. And then we go this way. There's another mirror, dresser, closet, bed, nightstand, other light source, lamp, and then it all comes right back around. So, there's your tour. I'm sorry if that made you dizzy. Yeah. Thanks for joining.